I thoroughly enjoyed this documentary. It brought me back to high school so much.
Sorry about that.
No, that was a good thing.
Okay.
That was a good thing.
You enjoyed high school?
I went to a technical high school, so that's why it really sparked and it reminded me of a lot of my friends who I grew up with. What was it about taking the science fair and putting it into a documentary?
Well, I was a science fair kid. I participated for 2 years in that fair in the movie, and it totally changed my life, and it put me on a path that I would not have been able to be on if it were not for this world. And so I'm incredibly grateful to it and to all of the lessons that it taught me. And as an adult, you know, I thought what a cool documentary it would be to celebrate these kids and show all these weird characters and their amazing projects. And Darren is an investigative journalist, and we were working on a very sad story together. And I just mentioned it offhand to Darren, and he immediately was like, "That sounds like a lot of fun." We both needed a break, and so 2 years later, here we are with this with this movie.
Yeah, I could see the working relationship really showed on the film, because it just seemed to meld, and it really told the stories the way it should be told by the students' eyes. How was it? How did you go about finding the schools and the students and putting that together?
Yeah, I mean, we knew going into this that we wanted to show a fairly, good representation of the kind of kids that wind up at the International Science Fair. So we were looking for, the powerhouse schools like Jericho High School and DuPont Manual High School in Louisville, Kentucky. And we were also looking for the underdogs, that always makes for a great storyline. And so we were lucky to find Kashfia Rahman from Brookings, South Dakota, and Robbie Barrett from West Virginia when we were doing our first scouting trip. So we got really lucky with them, and then we also just found these amazing kids from Brazil, Milena and Gabrielle, who were true underdogs. They came from a very small poor village in Brazil, and just based on their amazing research on the Zika virus, they earned themselves a trip all the way to Los Angeles and the International Science Fair. So I mean, I think for us, we took a lot of time with the casting and trying to find, the right mix of kids, but it was definitely also like one of the most enjoyable parts of making the film.
Yeah, for sure.
Because the emotional level that you guys showed was true to what a science fair is. You get the crying, you get the stress, the anguish. Are you really prepared? And you showed it so well. How was it working with the students too? Oh. Were they able to allow you to shoot that much and not say, maybe cut it off for now?
No, it was amazing. I mean, like I said before, we're investigative journalists, so usually all the stories we do, people don't want you to tell that story. Mm-hmm. But these kids were so open to us, and they were so much fun too. And you see a lot of that on camera. You see just how goofy and funny and playful they are. And so we had so much fun making this documentary, just because being around their energies, they're high schoolers, so all of the feelings that they're feeling are turned up to 150%. So being around them was a lot of fun, and there's never a dull moment.
And what do you think is the importance of, with this documentary going to the world now and STEM being so popular? Mm-hmm. And I think it's never been this popular ever before.
Yeah.
Do you think you're going to pull a new audience, more kids getting interested into STEM, saying that, we can do that as well?
Yeah, I mean, I think that in the documentary we show kids from all walks of life participating in science fair, and that's on one level by design, but also you can't do a story about the science fair without showing kids from all over. It is a very big competition, 1,700 kids from 78 different countries. And so I think, if people come away with this, seeing themselves in a little bit or in one of these kids or an aspect of these kids, that's a big win. I mean, STEM is really important. We live at a time where, it's not so much a national priority anymore. And so, it's kids like these that are really taking up the mantle of science. And so for us, it was important to be able to reflect that in the film.
And did you have a Dr. McCullough in your life growing up in school that really inspired you to be and to do what you're doing now?
Yeah, I never had. I guess I had a few teachers who really inspired me. Cristina Costantini, my Spanish teacher, and Rishi Raghunathan, who was the dean of students. Both of them were just amazing, incredible teachers who really just encouraged me to do whatever I was interested in, and which I think is kind of the key that we've seen with teachers is the best teachers, even if they don't know anything about what their students are into, just being supportive, allowing for that space is super important. Like you see Coach Schmidt in the movie, his student Kashfia she's a brilliant scientific mind, and she can't find any science teachers to help foster her curiosity, so she just goes to the head football coach, Coach Schmidt, who, despite knowing nothing, supports her. And so I've seen that in the teachers that I love the most. Dr. McCall is that way too. She doesn't know everything about what her kids do, but I think that's really a model that I hope to emulate going forward.
And for yourself, was there a teacher that?
Yeah, it's funny. Robbie's mom in the film, talks about motivation being a mysterious thing, and we don't know really what motivates us, and what motivates kids and stuff like that. But certainly for me, there was definitely people along the way that either giving an encouraging word at the right time or recognized something in myself that I didn't recognize. And I think one of the most profound experiences I had was when I was a freshman in high school. I was in jeopardy of failing my English class because I was so interested in science. I didn't realize I was a bit like Robbie. I didn't really care about English. And then, little did I know that I would pursue, something like journalism in the future. But, I think when
you were a print reporter for a while. He was a writer.
Yeah. When Mrs. Scully, almost failed me in my freshman year of high school, I realized it was time to buckle down, and she did it in the best way that a teacher does, which is just like you're not fulfilling your potential. And so once in a while you just gotta crack the whip a little bit, and Dr. McCullough knows that better than anybody. But I don't think I've ever had a teacher exactly like Dr. McCullough. She's one in a million, and the reason why we decided to focus on her is because she's so special.
Yeah, and I agree. I think that focus on a teacher and what teachers do is so important, because a lot of people don't see that. Was that kind of a part of that documentary, that you wanted to make sure that you showed what the teachers do on a daily basis too for these kids?
Definitely, yeah. I think showing different models of teachers, of parenting, different kinds of students. We wanted to show kind of the range of experiences, and sometimes what a not great teacher can look like. I think Robbie's teachers, he goes to her and asks her about prime number theory, and she says, "Why don't you focus on today's lesson?" Instead of saying, "I don't know about number theory, but I'm gonna go look it up." I think would be how I think, and I would hope that I would respond in that kind of situation.
And what can you tell the MUSE audience to get them out to this film? Because it's something that everybody, I think, needs to see, especially in this day and age where science is being questioned a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think, Science Fair is a really fun experience in terms of just a viewing experience. We really showcase these kids as the humans that they are. They're not, some stereotypical Science Fair nerd. They're well-rounded. They're fun. They're funny. And it's just we had so much time, so much fun spending time with them that I think it really translated into the end product. And it's also a family film, so it plays to children as well as adults. And I think from our experience, just having so many screenings now, everybody takes a little something different from it, but everybody at the end has a smile on their face. May need a tissue here and there, but it's great. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Okay.
Really
Thank you
so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching MUSE. If you like what you saw, make sure to subscribe to our channel and click on all the other videos you see to watch more of our content.